So, welcome everyone to Sports Fan Talk. I am your humble host, Big G.
All right, Raider lady in the building. What's happening?
You know what I'm saying? And it's your boy, the young architect. Oh man, look
Oh,
like
did he drop off?
I think he might have dropped
Uh
off.
oh. Get him
Uh-oh.
back. Keep it going.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And here we are again with another episode of Sports Fan Talk. Now, today's episode is going to be one of celebration in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Come on with it.
as
It's
you know-
a championship show. It's a
As you know,
championship show.
you are right. This is a championship show.
Right.
You know, here we are. You know, the Warriors are NBA champions yet again. Stephen Curry's your Finals MVP. You know, he got that so-called monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? Raider lady, go ahead and start us off. What you think about that?
Absolutely. I got to give them their props. Like, I'm glad you let me go first because I'm not technically a Warriors fan. So just get me out the way. I can deal with that. Right.
Mhm.
But shout out to the Warriors. Too much championship. They built their championship team led by an anomaly in the league, straight up. And I call him an anomaly because the things he does, no one else can do. No one else can do. I mean, to be able to get a loose ball off the dribble and fire it from 35 and make it and don't touch the rim. I mean, this bottom, as we call it, yeah, no one's doing that. He does it at a darn near 40% plus clip, if I'm not mistaken. So just shout out to Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, I want to give him his props because this is a youngster who came into the league, drafted number 1 overall out of the University of Kansas. A lot of hype. Talking about he was the next LeBron James, the Canadian LeBron James, and all them titles that he had. And it was a lot on him. And he didn't, and he didn't deliver. Just call he was on and off. He was Mr. On and off. That was the thing. It was about what was his motor like. Well, he had to find the right fit. And once he got to Golden State, he didn't have to be the man. He can be a part of a team. And so that pressure is lifted off of him, and he was able to do what he does naturally, which is slash, which is rebound as a 6'8", 6'9" swing guard, as we call it, or small forward, and do what he did. And you saw that manifest in back-to-back games and critical games, 4 and 5, when he comes in with 16 boards and 13 boards right behind it. So especially when you're the smaller team, and that's what Golden State was. It was a smaller team, but he made the difference with his ability to board up and make big shots for going to the bucket. So after that, the rest of the team did what they did. Flashes from Poole. He came through, hit some crazy shots. I guess he like Steph Jr. coming up, but crazy shots, and they finished the deal. Boston wasn't ready. Too many turnovers. Trying to do too much. Didn't know what to do, really, when you look at it. Got overwhelmed a little bit at the moment. So shout out to the Golden State Warriors, 2022 champions.
It's indeed. Hey, man. And as a fan, I was just like, you know what? I don't get too high, too low. Try not to, because when you start living and dying with the team, man, it could be kind of taxing on the health. So, but right now, like with this title, I think this is the most fulfilling one for them. I look at the two with Durant, like we had cheat code championships, you know what I mean? Like when they were fully healthy and he was playing, it was just like, man, ain't nobody gonna beat us. It's not even fun sometimes being a fan when you don't sweat, like whether you're gonna win or lose. Like that's how I felt when we had Durant. But with this one, I honestly felt like everybody kept saying Boston is the more talented team. That was like the whole rap going into it. And I think if you say just pure talent, yes, you look on paper, like the size, the speed, and what they could be, you would say they're more talented, but they were never the better team. The Warriors, they had the experienced cats who've been there, done that, and they have a mixture of the youngsters that, they got in where they fit in. You didn't have any youngsters like, hey, I need more playing time. I need this, I need that. It's like, hey, Steph, what I need to do? Draymond, what I need to do? You know what I mean? And they executed. And I never really felt like Boston, they didn't have the consistency, man. And they're trying to elevate Jason Tatum to Kobe status, way too soon. He's not ready. I mean, I would say, and teams need this. Isaiah needed a Jordan. Jordan needed to conquer Magic and Bird. I mean, you need to go through the losses before you can be seasoned enough to be in every situation to where you don't get phased, to where you win.
Unless you're Magic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I got something for that later. You know what I'm saying? But, Boston, they have the pieces in place, but unfortunately for them, I think the balance of power has switched it from top to bottom. I think the East is a more talented conference. They have, you got to go through Milwaukee. You're going to have to go through Brooklyn, and then who knows? I don't know about Atlanta.
Do you really got to go through Brooklyn, though?
Hey, we don't know. We don't know.
They got to play a full season. They haven't not played a full season together.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And you definitely got to go through Philly, too.
Yeah.
The East is not a cakewalk. Whereas I look next year at the Warriors, I mean, I'm like, all right, maybe the Clippers, if Kawhi comes back fully healthy. Them, I don't look at the Lakers as a threat. Sorry, Cuzzo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some work to do over there. But overall with this championship, though, I think the Warriors, I reminisce like, what about the days of drafting Mike Dunleavy? What about Mikael Pietrus? Chris Tabb, you know what I'm saying? Freaking Patrick O'Brien, the 7-footer out of Bradley. All those draft picks to all those lean years to lead to where we are now. I'm just satisfied. I'm happy we won another one, Architect, as the youngster who's probably seen more good days and bad days. What do you think?
To add to your draft picks, we can never forget about Andres Beatrice. I think, man, this was kind of reminiscent of the first championship for me, because obviously we had the great players, and the difference was, they were turning into who they are now. But I think the storyline behind it, I think it was, it couldn't be better. It was like something out of a movie. Like they said, 2 years ago, had the worst record in the league. Obviously, you had the injuries with Clay, Draymond out there by himself. You finally see that, what I'm saying, he needs Steph and Clay. What I'm saying? The whole, we only won because we had Kevin Durant. Like the story goes, the list of I'm gonna call it disrespect towards the Warriors over the years, man. I think this kind of solidifies it, as well as it solidifies those three guys right there, that Steph, Dre, and Clay. I mean, those you put them three on the court, they haven't lost the finals. Like if you put them all three on the court together, what I'm saying? Granted, we look at the 3-1 thing, but we all go back, and then also look back at Draymond missing that game 5. But I say this, man. I think it was a hard-fought championship. The Celtics, what I'm saying, they're young. I just knew that championship pedigree was going to kick in, because don't get me wrong, you can be more talented, more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. But if you don't have that mindset, and like Draymond and Clay and even Steph have alluded to, if you haven't been there before, when you're down, you're not going to know how to dig yourself out of that hole. And the Warriors did that very well, man. Yeah, especially closing out in Boston. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a big thing. All in all, man, I think, this is a well-deserved championship. I'm glad Steph finally got that MVP. Yeah, man. Shit. I'm just mad. I this is the first time I'm gonna miss the parade.
That's
what I'm saying? Yeah.
You bounced out of town on us. Out of state.
Man. But it's all right. I'm gonna be celebrating out here, turning up. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good, man. We'll see what happens next year. Right now, they're the Vegas odds-on favorite to go back to back. So, things change. People get signed, go to different teams. We'll see how it all goes.
Mm-hmm.
But talking NBA, it's going to lead us right into our next topic. We're going to roll in. Who do we think the top 5 point guards of all time are? this is going to be almost wrapping up an NBA season because we were waiting for the NFL to start now, pretty much. We're going to roll through baseball. But this is an interesting topic. It's been talked about a little bit lately amongst the mass media. So, Architect, jump it off for us. Give us your top 5.
All right. Well, first off, at number 5, man, I got Kyrie Irving. The way he puts the ball on the floor, the way like this man has the greatest handle I've ever seen. He can score with ease. Just the only, I think his biggest thing is the fact that everybody calls him a part-time player now. But people forget, even before LeBron came back, even though Cleveland wasn't great, Kyrie was still out there doing his thing, trying to do what he can to prove himself as a leader. And then, you know what I'm saying? At number 4, I got John Stockton. You know what I'm saying? I never really saw him play, but as a basketball aficionado, as someone who loves the game, I give respect. You know what I'm saying? I think, obviously the league leader all time in assists. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, he probably would have a ring, maybe 2. But that's just
for a few players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just what you get for playing in the 90s, man. At number 3, I don't know, man. It was kind of a toss up here for me, but I threw in Big O. You know what I'm saying? The original man who, average a triple double. You know what I'm saying? He got that championship with Kareem. I want to say back when he was actually Lou Alcindor before he was Kareem. You know what I'm saying? He was before the Kings were the Kings. You know what I'm saying? He put main man on the Royals, Kansas City Royals, I believe they were called. You know what I'm saying? The original big point guard, 6'5", big man. At number 2, everybody gonna hate me for this. Everybody gonna hate me for this, man. But I got Magic. You know what I'm saying? I got Magic at 2. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong.
Interesting to see who your number 1 is.
5 NBA titles, you know what I'm saying? 3 finals MVPs, 3 MVPs, 9 all-NBA first teams, 12 all-star selections. The list goes on and on. Man won a championship in his rookie season, and he played center for a game. He started at center, you know what I'm saying? Due to Kareem.
All 5 positions in that game.
Literally, like the face of the 80s, as far as I can think about it. Him and Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? Can't say enough about Magic. You know what I'm saying? He not only, he's epitome of the game. He changed the game, man. Now you see NBA teams almost positionless basketball, and I think a lot of that has to do with Magic because people were trying to find the next Magic. You know what I'm saying? And then number 1, is the man that just won his first Finals MVP, man. I give it to Steph. And the only reason why, look, I say it like this. I've watched Steph. All these other players I didn't really watch outside of, Kyrie. I've seen highlights of these players. Yeah. But someone that I've actually watched him grow. I've grown to admire who he's become as a player, as a leader, not necessarily the vocal leader, but someone who everybody on that team looks at. You look at everybody on the Warriors, they're like, we go as Steph goes. If he has a bad game, they probably lose it. You know what I'm saying? And the man changed the game so much. You look at everybody now, even kids to this day, they starting at 8, 9, 10 years old. They trying to pull up from 30 foot, 35 feet, half court, all that just because of Steph, man. Because of that little 6'2" light-skinned kid that came out of Davidson. You know what I'm saying? And, not a lot of people like it. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people like it. I don't necessarily like it because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody can be him, although they're trying to be him. And, there's also a couple of NBA players that they try to compare him to, but that's not the case. There's only one. You know what I'm saying? There's only ever been one. There's only ever going to be one. You know what I'm saying? I think, I think especially this year with this finals, the man averaged 30. You know what I'm saying? He did have that one bad game, but the man still averaged 30. And then for his finals career, he's averaging 27, 7, and 7, as a 6'2" point guard. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of his career, man, I think it'll be a little less debatable, in my opinion, when it's all said and done. But Yeah, man, that's my top 5. I knew I was gonna get those reactions, but
Hey, man,
that's how I feel.
that's your top 5, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is. We're gonna let our Raider Late 19. You're gonna go last because we want to wrap it up. We know you're gonna break it down to the nth detail. So let me just squeeze my little self up in there in between. And I agree a little bit with the architect's takes on some, but I don't have Steph Curry number 1. I do have a number 5. I'm giving him his dap. You know what I mean? And I even struggle with this because he's not a true point guard to me. You know what I mean? Like where I grew up, knowing as a point guard is not what he is, but then I have to remember he did change the game. I mean, and I give credit where credit is due. In my lifetime watching basketball, there's been I could say there's 3 people that actually changed the game. Steph is one of them. You know, there weren't players. I mean, even he doesn't pull from the damn logo as much, but when he was doing it, when he was kind of in his little prime shooting, when this all kind of jumped off, shooting it from the logo was nothing for him, and he was making it. So exactly. I've never seen that in my life. But like I said, I struggle with this because I was like, at times the Warriors need a true point guard. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody to slow it down, get control of the game, and get us to coast to that victory. Whereas with Steph at the point, it's almost like we always keep our foot on the pedal the whole game. So he's my number 5, and believe me, it was up and down on that. And then when I go to number 4, I go to the point guard who I think does not get the credit he deserves. That's Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah, he doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's been funking with Jordan for all these years. Jordan pretty much blackballed him off that damn dream team.
Off the dream team. He did
blackball him off of that. Yeah. But Isaiah, he has a nice resume. He can say he's the only one that knocked off Jordan, Magic, and Bird in their prime. He did that. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about handle, everybody, like Young G, you talk about Kyrie because you've seen him. Isaiah had a handle. You know what I'm saying? He had major handle, and he could shoot, he could score, but he changed his game up from being more of a scorer in the beginning of his career when Dumars came, and he kind of deferred some to Dumars. So, and it made the team better. So my number 4, I'm going Isaiah. And then number 3, it's funny, we both have the same number 3 because I got the big O, Oscar Robertson. You know what I mean? The original big point guard, first one to average a triple-double in the season. And if you add up the averages from his first 5 seasons, they add up to a triple-double with him. But on the point side, it would average 30 a game. So he would average a 30-point triple-double for 5 years. So, dude, he is the truth. 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, MVP in 1964. You know what I'm saying? And then he did get that one championship with Kareem. So he's my number 3. My number 2, I'm going with light-skinned cat from the town, man. I'm going J. Kidd.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
Man, you know what? I mean, I played against the guy, and it was so funny in high school. People asked me, like, what was it like playing in the game against him? And, I wasn't no great basketball player. I played basketball to get in shape for baseball. Football is my main sport. Basketball is to stay in shape for baseball and baseball alike. So I was out there doing my thing. My thing was to average 10 rebounds a game. But in the game we played St. Joe's, they're a basketball factory. And they asked me about Jason Kidd, and I was just like, you know what? He's a dude that at that time you could feel his presence, but I was not impressed by necessarily anything he did. But if you really think about it, he did control the whole game. He got every damn loose ball there was. I mean, when I say everyone, I mean every loose ball. And you can feel his strength. He's a strong dude. And I was like, I didn't know how that transferred to the NBA, but it transferred exactly how it was in high school. If you look at his career in the NBA, he would get every loose ball. He wasn't the fastest, but he'd get loose balls, and he controlled the game. And the boy dropped dimes. You know what I'm saying? So his main thing was controlling the game, dropping dimes, and he'd have the most unimpressive stat sheet, but he controlled the whole damn game. There's something
10,
to be
10,
said.
and 10, boy.
There's something to be said for that. Then my number one was another guy who changed the game, the Magic Man. There was no such thing as a 6'8" point guard before he came into the league, man. You know what I mean? Like Arsenio Hall said, he's at a fast break. Magic come down, be baking some cookies, put him behind his back, serve him on a hot plate. Magic, he was Showtime. The reason the Lakers were Showtime is because of Magic. And, you know, his accolades, they speak for themselves. 12-time All-Star, 10-time All-Time, you know, All-NBA, 5-time champ, 3-time MVP. You can't argue with none of that. You know what I mean? Guy's a winner, high school, college, NBA, you know, basketball resume speaks for itself. So that's my top 5. And I'm interested to hear Raider Lady 19's top 5 coming up next.
Those are good top 5s, brother. I must say those are really good. I'm gonna start mine off. I'm like, give you just like, to me, what a great point guard is. One who controls the tempo, one who can who elevates their teammates, and a defender. You have to be a defender because you set the tone on both ends of the court, to me, because the point guard is where it starts. So I'm gonna do it like this. I have a top 5 honorable mention. Just one person who's honorable mention, and that's Steph Curry. He's not in my top 5, but he's honorable mention, so he would be like 6, or 5 or 5B. And it's strictly because no one has ever shot the rock like this dude. I'm giving this that alone is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one is shot like that. Hey. Sometimes I be like, is it a magnet in this ball? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the distance, and like I said, it just be straight swish. And and he got better with his ball handler. To me, he was not an adept ball handler at all. And he got better over the years. And you know, because of his ability to to shoot the way he has, it opened up the game. It opened up the game not only for him, but really for that offense. Because when you have someone who can shoot from that deep, the spacing is immaculate. And that's what that's why they always going to be there, because no one has spacing in half court sets like him and like that team. And that's based on him and his ability to shoot from the point guard position and from the distance and range that he does. So that's my number 5 B, or honorable mention. Number 5 is I just forgot. I just had a brain. My brain was dead right there.
It's all good. No. Take your time.
All right, number 5 is Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson, one of the best, like you said, Mr. Triple Double. In the era of the 60s, late 60s and 70s, nobody could stop him. He was a one-man wrecking crew from the point guard position. Just bigger than everybody. Played the angles. Just great point guard. You already went over a lot of his stats, so I don't need to repeat that. But Big O is my number 5. My number 4. My number 4 is your boy Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is number 4. You talk about someone who is unassuming, who looks like they can do nothing spectacular. That was Jason Kidd, but a straight up floor general. Tell everybody where to be. And to me, he is the best tempo setter of a game. Who can truly, I would say, the best, like number 1 and 2.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? I see him go 100 miles an hour, go to 60, go to 4, just the gear change, because he's not overly athletic, so to speak. But because he was able to control tempo, he always had an edge, and he knew how to use his body. He leaned on you, get his shoulder into you, and got better over time. Come on, man. The man is number 2 in assists and steals, defends. That's what I'm talking about. At
6'4".
Okay. Exactly. Number 3 is Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, Zeke is, to me, one of the toughest point guards to play the game, period. One to me was like, outside of Big O, was the true definition of a scoring point guard. because he can get in the lane. No, nobody can send the original floater to me. That floating shot from the free throw line in. Zeke could get in the middle of your defense all the time. And when you can do that, I mean, drive and kick. That's what made the bad boy so tough, is because it all started with Zeke and how he would drive the lane. He looked for the angles. He looks to get into the paint, and we don't see that. It's only a small percentage of point guards to this day, but dating back to his time, who want to be in the middle of the paint. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Steph don't want to be in the middle of the paint. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to. He'll go through it, but he don't want to be there. Zeke wanted to be there. He wanted to go against your big. He wanted to get an and one. He's one of the toughest point guards, period, to ever play the game. Number 2 is John Stockton. Another.
I ain't mad at that.
Another one who looks unassuming. Again, a floor general. Floor master. You talking about somebody who made their team better? Who outside of Karl Malone was just that dude all those years in Utah?
Jeff Hornacek.
Jordan Hornacek was a spot-up shooter here and there. Jeff Hornacek, come on, man. Like, so, but no, that speaks to my point. Him, Tyrone Corbin, all these guys that came through there, like, he made his teammates better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, John Stockton did that. I mean, number 1 in assists and steals. This is why I be so big on defense. He was not afraid to put his nose in there. He was little. He was scrawny. You know what I'm saying? But he's gonna battle. He's going to battle. He's gonna get in that passing lane. Who would have think that John Stockton lead the league in steals, the NBA in steals all time?
I know. Yeah, you really think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. John Stockton.
With all these quick brothers everywhere.
Just saying, like, and like I said, to me, he's the epitome of making his teammates better and making them rise to the level of the occasion, to be a perennial all-star team every year, and then happen to come into the buzzsaws that they did. But they made that, Utah. I mean, he's a franchise. This dude is a franchise. As much as they love Karl Malone, people love, it was John Stockton. To me, no point guards had a bigger impact on the team than when John Stockton played. And that's saying a lot. I know, I mean, but so you gotta look at it from those
with longevity, as far as longevity, or just the impact period.
That's all I'm saying. And then number 1 is the Magic Man, of course. So how could he not be number 1? This is the one who came in and dominated. Now we're talking about sheer domination right off the rip.
Yeah.
Right off the rip.
Championship as a rookie. And wasn't no rookie in the background like, oh, I gotta, ease my way in and feed Cap and feed all these vets I got out here. No, he was that guy. Right off
up to
the
Cap
top.
and said, what you want?
Right.
What you need from me?
Right. And I learned how to play the game watching that man. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to play basketball watching him, and seeing with all that trickery and all that. That was outside of probably Pistol Pete from back in the day. That was magic. Bringing it here, oh man, and the angles, the ball control as a passer, ball control, the spin. He knew. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The perfect bounce, how it hit into the pocket of his teammates again. Yeah, so that's my top 5. To me, you got to be able to make your teammates better, play defense, and control the game. And to me, those are some of the best to ever do it.
Yes. I like the criteria, and I like the follow-up in the list. So
see, that's crazy. I didn't even think to put in Jason Kidd, because I mean, I didn't. Again, I only really saw like highlights of him, because I mean, growing up, Pops and I, we occasionally watch basketball games, you know what I'm saying? But I remember really watching, like, obviously the Lakers play, and then we'd always watch the Warriors. But I didn't really remember watching like Jason Kidd growing up, but he would always talk about him, you know what I'm saying? Especially looking at the highlights. And then I remember watching him, I think I really started really paying attention to the NBA later on was when Jason Kidd had won that championship when he went back to Dallas. But by that time, you know what I'm saying, he was already old. He was like 38, 39, something like that. But, you know, yeah, I just knew he was a Hall of Famer, and I didn't really understand why until after he retired, and I went back and looked. So, but yeah, no, Jason Kidd, I definitely one I forgot about, man.
It's like Radio Lady said, he was a consummate floor general. That's like the perfect term for him. Yeah. That's what he was, you know.
For sure. Like I said, and not super athletic, so to speak. Like, you know, he was quick. He had agility. I mean, damn, because I call it agility.
That's what I'm saying. He's like an enigma,
right?
Because it was twitchy. Quickness. It's almost like a cat type quickness, but not quite like, you know. I mean, I don't know.
Big cat, right? Like a big cat.
Yeah, I guess. Exactly. Yeah, something. A leopard.
But Jay could do it. He would just tenacity. He played with a lot of tenacity, man.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Played really hard.
Yes. And that's going to do it for the NBA section of the show. We're going to switch it up now. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to get into the Lamar Jackson contract situation. And I'll lead us off on this. You know, first off, he's making $23 million this year upcoming. So people may be thinking like, you know, of course, again, athletes get paid so much money. Why don't they just take what they're given, and why they have to negotiate and haggle and all this stuff? But you gotta look at this. One, the media to me is painting him out to be less than intelligent and naive about his situation, because they're like, why didn't he just take the money that Baltimore asked him last year? He needs an agent, first of all, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And why didn't he just take the money that offered him last year? Because I guess they offered him dang near an identical contract to Josh Allen, because they considered them the same type of quarterback. But this is the thing. You know, he's gambling on himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, could be good, could be bad. But so far, really, if you look at it, it's good, because Deshaun Watson signed that $230 million guaranteed. And now Lamar's like, hey, I got an MVP and I got a winning record. And I'm better than that, you know, I'm doing better than him. So that has to be a starting ground for us. You know what I mean? In Baltimore, that's why Bisciotti was so mad at the Cleveland ownership. He was like, why the hell would they do that? You know what I mean? Like, basically, like, they set football back 20 years by signing him to that contract.
But that was like the Jamarcus Russell, like when Jamarcus got $50 million guaranteed.
Jamarcus finessed the hell out the Raiders, boy.
Yeah, but this is the thing. The bar has been set now. This is what it is. So what do you want this guy to do? You want him to go back? I mean, the thing is, where I notice about any type of sports negotiation, everything's negotiable, and they always got it. They got the money. They can do whatever they want to do. These football owners, they're not paying taxes on a lot of this money. They got money. They get money hand over fist. So they could pay them, but they just don't want things to run wild, because they're like, they're not even looking at Lamar Jackson. They're like, shit, who's up next? Like, what good quarterback? Oh, Justin Herbert. God dang, if we pay him this, then we're going to really have to break the bank on him. So, you know, it's an enigma, but the thing I'm praying for Lamar is that he does not get hurt while he's holding out for a guaranteed contract, because that's what they're banking on. And football teams are slick. So who knows what the play call is going to be. Might be a lot more rushes, quarterback sweeps called, you know what I'm saying, coming up in this season for Baltimore, just keeping it real, because their whole thing is his style of play could lead him to be injury prone. But they decided to draft him and run their offense like that. So, hey, it's what it is. But you got to pay the man market price. You can't go below market price. If someone considered to be, I can't say Deshaun Watson is less talented, because obviously to me, he's not. I mean, he's a better thrower of the ball, you know, and he just was in a bad situation in Houston, a horrible organization, you know, because they look at it probably, I mean, if Deshaun Watson had been a Baltimore Raven this whole time, they might have a ring or two, tell the truth. But
possibly.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is what it is. The bar has been set. You have to pay this man. You can't ask him to go below market price. You know what I mean? You can't ask an MVP to get paid less than a guy who hasn't freaking won an MVP. I don't think has Deshaun Jackson won a playoff game? I think he may have won one.
He may have one. I think he may have one.
Yeah, may have
he
one
did.
or not.
And then I think that's the year they lost to Kansas City in the second round.
Yeah, so I mean, Lamar is more accomplished than him in the playoffs too. So it's just like, I don't know. The media is going to keep going like Mike Florio, this guy right now, he is on a mission to like prove Deshaun Jackson, Lamar Jackson is just messing it up, that he needs to take the money given. And one thing he is really forcing is like, he needs an agent. He needs an agent. He can't do this himself. He doesn't know how to do it. It's like, all right, bro. All he needs to do is look at the language that from his former contract and look at the money that's out there and that's being commanded from other players, and he could do it. It's not rocket science. So let's not make it seem like he's not capable. So I hope the man stays healthy, and I hope he gets his money. Even if it's 231 million guaranteed. He needs to be, we need to start there. I don't know. Raider Lady, what do you think about it?
All right, let me get some facts. Help me with some facts. How many years left on this contract?
One, right? One or two?
I want to say they picked up his 5th-year option.
Because starting next year they're gonna start franchising.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, they need to pay him then, because coming into that situation he needs to be paid. Because I'm not into tearing up people's contracts. Me myself, I think that's the business person in me. I'm not into tearing up contracts, like especially when you got 2 years in, and you're trying to renegotiate your price based on you outplaying your contract, or someone who's maybe a tier under you or whatever gets paid ahead of you just because of the scheduling section, like where you're slotted to get paid because of when you came into the league. I don't like that. I'm a proponent of that because that puts, to me, especially when you're the quarterback, that puts too much strain on the team. And I say because to me, if he was a better passer, this would be done already.
Yeah, 100%.
It'd be done already.
100%.
Absolutely.
Because Lamar, I mean, he can take a team. He can lead a team. He's proven that. But you don't know how much you want to bank on his arm. That's the thing. And I mean, he's doing right. He understands exactly what he's doing, and he's being consulted with his contract. He just represents himself. He just makes sure he ain't paying no middleman. But he's being, so they always like to paint like he'll know what he's doing. He got people advising him and consulting him on how to deal with this.
Yeah.
But he needs to be paid. And if he want all guaranteed, they're not gonna have a choice but to do it. Yeah, exactly. Who you got in the wings? Who they got? Who they got?
His best friend.
Oh yeah, what's the dude's name?
The brother goes behind him.
Is it Huntley?
Travis Huntley,
right?
Huntley.
Yeah, he ain't Lamar.
Yeah, hell no.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not. And so I think he's gonna he might get presented less because they're negotiating his arm, and can he win with his arm? Can he win with his arm? So if your boy got 250, is it 250 fully guaranteed?
Fully, yep.
It's 230, right? 230.
230?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 230.
Yeah, then he might get 200 million guaranteed. Maybe.
Yeah.
200.
I can see that, but they're gonna have to break him off.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get paid. I didn't know he was he's entering the last year of his rookie contract.
Yeah.
So, because I'm telling you now, if they don't, I think he'll walk.
I think so too.
I think so.
He'll walk. Yeah. You don't
pay
him.
That man in Tampa,
Seattle need a quarterback. Washington need a quarterback.
Tom gonna retire. Don't be surprised.
So
go home.
So he can run it up then.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can run it up because you don't get his kind of talent that's on the free agent market.
Exactly.
Ideally, I hope that he wins this year. If my Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl, I would like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, him to win, get the MVP, all that, and see what they do. because they do not want to pay him $230 guaranteed.
They don't.
Hell no.
They don't.
All right, Architect. What do you think about it?
I think really they basing this all off of last season. I mean, he got hurt. He only played 12 games. But in those 12 games, he still had them in a winning record. They were 7-5. It was his worst year statistically throwing the ball as far as touchdown to interception ratio, 16-13. I think they're really basing it off of that and not basing the fact that not only was he an MVP, he won MVP in his second year. He's the youngest MVP in the history of the NFL. The man broke the record. I mean, he's already in the record books, rushed for over 1,000, broke Michael Vick's record. You know what I'm saying? And then, I think too, they saying he needs an agent. I go to this. DeAndre Hopkins don't have an agent. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Hopkins has been negotiating his deals for a minute now. Even you can track that back to when he was in Houston, when he got that first big contract.
You don't need an agent, man. You do not need an agent.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? And like Raider Lady alluded to, I think they're trying to base it on his arm. But if you look at it, his career averages, I mean, he completes 64% of his passes. That's not great, but it ain't terrible. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot worse out there.
It's because he throws between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I talk about his arm. It's like, it's like, to me, it's like that Colin Kaepernick dynamic. Can he progress past the inseams?
Yeah,
on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I think, man, all in all, like, I think the Ravens would be. This would be such an idiotic move by them, and they're not really known not to be loyal to their like key players. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of outside noise talking in. I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive that the Ravens are going to re-sign him. Now, if he gets more than 230, that's still yet to be talked about. But I think, in all honesty, I know Lamar Jackson is like, we all look at him and we see him, he's flashy and stuff like that. But I'm sure if the Ravens came to him and was like, all right, look, we can't give you 230, but if they was to give him like in between 200 to like 215, it would be fully guaranteed. I think he accept that gladly. Because I mean, don't get me wrong.
That would still be better than Mahomes' deal if they did
exactly. That. But that whole thing that they were trying to pay him the same as Josh Allen ain't done shit compared to Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, Josh Allen has this big arm. He, you know what I'm saying? He can sling the rock 70 yards sitting on his knees. But yeah, that man ain't won an MVP. You know what I'm saying? I will say this though. I mean, Deshaun, if you want to talk playoffs, Deshaun and Lamar have the same amount of playoff wins. I mean, they both got one. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But
I didn't know that. I thought Lamar had more.
Remember, he lost to the Titans like 2 years in a row or something like that. But yeah, and then I think Lamar had came out. He's like, I'm my own man. I don't worry about what the other guys get. Now that I don't believe.
That's not true.
That's not true. That man saw Deshaun Watson get 230 fully guaranteed, and he was like, oh, shit. Yeah. He was like, now don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson, I would choose Deshaun Watson over Lamar Jackson myself. You know what I'm saying? Just because, Deshaun, he's won at every step. He even had the Texans rocking. You know what I'm saying? The Texans are terrible. You know what I'm saying? But I think he'll get this contract done. I'm sure by the end of this year, especially if he balls out, he coming back fully healthy. We see him working out. He's definitely bigger than when he came in at 205 or 212, whatever. He's definitely walking around at a good 220.
Tell you though, this reminds me of freaking Donovan McNabb when he was like, when they questioned him, when they asked him what he meant, when he said, black quarterbacks, we got to do extra. I'm like, what do you mean by that? We just got to do extra. The thing is, Lamar got to do extra to get this money. When he should get it, he should be getting it.
Exactly, and I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, shit, even with the man being injured last year, he was still a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? He already got his All Pro. I mean, like I said, the man is in the record books already, and he's only 24. He's only 24, and you can only imagine. Like, granted, and the Ravens believe in him, though. I think that's the big thing too. The Ravens believe in him so much so to the fact that. You know what I'm saying? John Harbaugh was letting the man call plays. He was letting them see if they wanted to go for the tie for the win.
That's the thing. If you believe in me, pay me. If you believe in me, give me my money.
I
You know
think,
what I'm
but I think
saying?
that's the thing, though. I think that's the thing. I think he has himself. They're gonna have to find a common ground. I think.
Yeah.
I think obviously they value him at a certain price point. He values himself. They're gonna have to meet somewhere in the middle sooner than later because I agree with you, Big G. I think he could walk. You know what I'm saying? I wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a lot of teams out there, like we mentioned, the Seahawks. Although, shit, we got to see if they're gonna keep DK. You know what I'm saying? Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, hey, that 375 million to sit and talk. He might after this season, he'd be like, I'm up out of there. And there's a list of other teams that, you know what I'm saying, that could use the talents of a Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this, man. Stop trying to say there's an underlining tone here because Lamar Jackson is who he is. He's very much authentically him. He's a Florida boy. He rock his golds and his chains and all that. He's like best friends with Kodak Black. Like,
and he got the hair plaited.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's very much, he lives Pompano Beach, Florida. That is him. You know what I'm saying? There's an underlining tone here where they're like, we don't want to give him this money because we don't know what else he's gonna bring. What's
the underlining tone? Let's put it on the table. What is it? What are you trying to say? Is he too?
We don't want to give this hood nigga this money.
That's
what the underlying tone is. We don't want to give this. Well, now I gotta sit up, man. Look, we don't want to give this hood nigga all this money because we don't know. Because you look at some black quarterbacks who have gotten money. I'm really looking at Jamarcus Russell here, who came in with duffel bags full of lead. But that's not Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson, he's a smart kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Pay the man, bro.
They gave it to Michael Vick. He was authentically him. Like, exactly. Mike Vick was that hip hop quarterback, but before it was a thing.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to give it to Mahomes because he the right light skin, you know what I'm saying? Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All these other quarterbacks. Shit, even Russell Wilson got. I was about to say Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
They want to give it to the company guys.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but they got to pay him. It's not like, I mean, they don't have to, but they will. They
better. They should.
Are. They're going to pay him. But like you said, Architect, it's like at what number? He probably wants likened unto your boy, and they like, I don't see you as that. Yeah, we love you. But they trying to de-risk as much as their investment as they can. Mm-hmm. You know, like, is your arm going to lead us to a title? I don't know. I don't be seeing you doing that Patrick Mahomes type stuff.
But that's
I don't be seeing you doing that Brady stuff.
The Ravens, if you look at the Ravens historically, they've never had a quarterback.
Right.
Then on top of that, they've always been so different to other NFL teams. Granted, you say you can't run your quarterback like you run Lamar Jackson. Okay, that's why you also have that stable of running backs. You have they need to get a receiver that they can actually go to in times of need. The cool
thing is they don't have no receivers right now.
Exactly. Outside of Mark Andrews, my thing is this. I think you could run that Ravens offense how they've been running it, but they need to get at least one solid receiver that can be the go-to outside of the tight end Mark Andrews, because they already have the stable of running backs. They have a defense that obviously it represents the Ravens as they are, a defensive-minded team. That's what they've been. Even John Harbaugh took that in. But my thing is this: you can win a champion. I feel like the Ravens would be the team to kind of take a step back into the older generation where you could win a Super Bowl running the football. You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact that you have a Lamar Jackson, but people are so concerned about him running the ball, they forget that he can throw. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he's not this all-time great thrower of the football. But the man can get the ball. We've seen him.
Well, he has a strong arm. Let's say that. His arm is strong, so he can make every throw. It's all about the accuracy of the throws.
Absolutely. It's be able to, coming out of that say you got to throw people open. I need to see him do it more.
Yeah, that's what we.
I'm for real, and I love him. I mean, he can play. Yeah. But I need to see you throw more people open. I need to be able to hit some of them routes on that route tree that we just haven't seen you do consistently as a quarterback.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's that's not a fake criticism of him. That's like real.
Yeah, because when you see him throw at receivers and he hits them, they're pretty much wide open. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But I think that works to his advantage because the reason why they're so wide open is because they're so concerned about his legs.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's why I said all they need is one. You know what I'm saying? They don't need a plethora of receivers. They need one solid.
They just got rid of the one they had. They got rid of Hollywood.
Who was their deep threat? You're right. You know what I'm saying? But hey,
I mean, all he has is his tight end. All he has is Andrews. Really, I mean,
when you look at the targets, I don't know. I wish we could have pulled it up. I'd love to see his targets. I just love to see, who compared to your wideouts, what percentage was your targets in your throws inside of the hash marks.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get real Fox TBS stat wise.
Yeah, we got to.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a build up.
Yeah, but you're right about that. But we'll see. Let's hope that man get his money. He's gonna get it one way or another.
He's gonna get it.
Listen, he stays healthy. He's gonna get his money, man. He's gonna get that money. But next up, we're gonna have the final segment of the show. I know we kind of breezing through it tonight. This is when we first started. The show used to be pretty much no longer than an hour, but we get so much interesting stuff. Especially we got Raider Mike on here too. We know he likes to talk. Love you, brother. Happy Father's Day. But we doing about an hour and a half now. I think we're gonna be done a little over an hour, but that's cool too. Yeah. Next up we get to the 3 minutes of funk section. You know what I mean? When we talk about what we want to talk about and just get a little something off our chest. And we're gonna start it off with the young guy, the architect. What's on your mind tonight, man?
Well, tonight is what's been on my mind for a while, man. It's in the football world. Baker Mayfield, man. This is Baker Mayfield in general. I've seen a lot of headlines with him in it, whether, you know what I'm saying, obviously with the whole Deshaun Watson thing going on. And they're like, well, Cleveland should keep him and all this, and maybe the Panthers want him. And look, my thing is this. People out there watching. If you believe in Baker Mayfield, if he was really that quarterback, as soon as the Browns had signed Deshaun Watson, teams should have been beating down the door to get this man. Stop overhyping him. He is a slightly better version of Johnny Manziel in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? The glitz, the glamour, I'm a rough, tough guy and I can do this and that, bro. Bump all that. Look, Baker Mayfield is not the quarterback that everybody thinks that he is. You know what I'm saying? That these people think that he is. If that's the case, Cleveland wouldn't have got Deshaun Watson if they truly believed in Baker Mayfield, even with everything that Deshaun Watson is going through. Again, and then I look at the teams who need a quarterback, and I'm really looking at the Seahawks here. If the Seahawks, who literally have Geno Smith and Drew Lock right now as their quarterback, if they don't want to go get Baker Mayfield, bro, that should tell you something right there. Stop trying to feed into all this. Well, his rookie year, he did this. You know what I'm saying? He had Cleveland. No, Nick Chubb and that O-line had Cleveland going. Myles Garrett had Cleveland going. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. Even before Tyrod Taylor got hurt, Baker's rookie year, he had Cleveland going. Stop trying to give into this notion that Baker Mayfield is this transitional, like this fucking one of a lifetime type of quarterback. Nah, bro. He's not that good. His arm talent isn't all the way there. He's not that accurate. You know what I'm saying? He's very cocky. I give him that. He cocky as hell.
He's good at that.
You know what I'm saying? He can talk his ass off now. But I can't give that man his credit. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit for making it to the NFL, you know what I'm saying, being the number one pick. But even looking back at college, bro, you see it, I want to say then he lost to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Oklahoma, they had a hell of a team, and Georgia had a hell of a team, but bro, they gave up a lead in that game. And granted, we all know Oklahoma ain't never really had no defense, but it was Baker's job to keep scoring, and he couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He's shown you who he was. Y'all just blinded by the fact that he had the Cleveland Browns fans believing that he was the next thing. Nah, bro. Baker Mayfield is who he is. He's stuck in I believe, you know what I'm saying, his best days are behind him. I say he'll probably be a good backup for somebody. Shit, maybe he can go up to Green Bay and learn from Aaron Rodgers and maybe be a good backup there or something. But I don't think Baker Mayfield will ever be a great starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be like a placeholder for the next guy. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying?
That's his slot now, huh?
Yeah, I think
is.
he's gonna be Kyle Orton. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
A better version of Kyle Orton.
Oh wow!
Man.
Oh, that's harsh.
I don't look. Hey, it's harsh. It's harsh. But you know what? I feel in my eyes, that's just what it is, man. I don't think Baker Mayfield is that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said and I stand on it, man. I don't even know if that was 3 minutes. It might have been a little less. But that's what I got to say.
It's all good. My goodness. All right. I'll smoke a bag of that, you know. I'll go next on this one. We gonna let Raider Lady 19 get the grand finale. For me, I always a lot of my 3 minutes of focus is gonna be based off Black baseball players. You know what I mean? I just don't think there's enough in the MLB. And yesterday I went to the A's game and I seen Tony Kemp out there. I don't remember seeing no other brothers on the A's or on the Royals. And it's just sad to me. It's a sad brand of baseball. So for me, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Don Newcomb and architect. Do you know who that is? I mean, I know you're young. I know I told you a little stuff about sports, but yeah, I don't think I reached back that far on you. You know what I'm saying?
1940s?
Yeah, 1940s, 1950s. You know what I mean? He was the first pitcher to ever win Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, and Cy Young in the same year. You know, and he was, the next pitcher to ever do that was, just to give you a little bit on that, to accomplish all those feats, was Justin Verlander. And I'm sure Justin Verlander will be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? And Don Newcomb was the first Black pitcher to ever win 20 games. And in 1956, like I said, he won the inaugural Cy Young. So he was the first Cy Young winner, and then he is also the MVP that year. So it's a good pitcher, man. We're talented. You know what I'm saying? And he was the third pitcher. He was actually the third Black pitcher to pitch in the MLB behind Don Bakehead and my man, Satchel Paige. And he also was a good hitter. The man hit 271, had 15 HRs in his career. And he was also used as a pinch runner. And, he did play in the Negro Leagues briefly. He played for the Newark Eagles in 1944, 1945. But, our heroes are always long gone and forgotten, and no one wants to mention them when they mention the greats. If you hear about great pitchers, a lot of times you're going to hear Sandy Koufax, you know what I mean, and Nolan Ryan and all these different players. You're not gonna ever hear Don Newcomb's name come up, or you're not gonna hear Satchel Paige's name come up. I might do something on him later, I'm sure. But for my 3 minutes, I want to give it up to Don Newcomb. First Cy Young Award winner when the award just came out, was a Black man, a brother. You know what I mean? And that's me. Raider Lady 19, what you got for us?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'll get it for you in a minute. Go ahead. Absolutely. Hold on a second. Yeah. No, my 3 minutes is something that's near and dear to me as a female athlete. So it's kind of, it's a controversial, it's a hot topic, and it's about transes in women's sports.
Oh, we going there, huh? We going there.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be spoken on. As a young woman and girl who plays sports since I was 10 years old, competitive sports. They made a ruling today. So a couple of other states where they, matter of fact, the world, the championship league of like swimming, like the international body of swimming, just ruled that trans are not going to be allowed to swim. Right. They're not
I
going to be
applaud
allowed.
that.
Yeah, and I do too. And to me, it's the correct ruling.
Yeah.
It's just call it what it is. It's like you can't when you have someone who's transitioned within 2 years. So suppose transition within 2 years and goes from competitively swimming against men to go through this process and then come onto the women's side and completely dominate the sport.
Yeah. After being ranked 462.
Right. It's just unethical. Let's just call it. It's just unethical. That. It's
I
just
didn't even know
right.
they ranked that many swimmers.
I didn't either.
God
right?
Dang.
So, and it just what it is. And I mean, we have instances of it in track and field where, they're winning by 20 meters, 20, 30 meters. I mean, come on. It makes no sense.
It's not fair.
We just talking about logic. I'm not talking about anything else. Just based on logic and reasoning and ethics within a sport. When you talk about competitive advantage, competitive advantage. Okay, and so they're making the right choice, and it has nothing to do with discrimination. It's about fairness. Sports is about the best player on a fair, even field being able to compete. Okay, exactly. That's what sports is all about. Yep. Everybody is at the same starting point. The thing that they love to talk about, equality. That's what a sports field is. Yep. And that's what competition is. And so where there's no sided physical and regular females physicality and how you are built and your level of athleticism is just something that is God given, so to speak. Okay, but when you are physiologically completely built different as a gender, whatever the case you want to call it, whether you're transitioning or not, it's just it's too big of an advantage. So I think we're gonna start seeing more of these rulings coming, and it's gonna go state by state. I don't think it'll ever be a federal situation where it's done completely, but people are seeing what it does, and it's demoralizing. I'm calling it what it is. It's demoralizing to female athletes. Yeah. It just is. I'd be highly pissed. I'm sorry. I train, I work, and I no.
If I go to watch Zoe play basketball and there's a boy who's transitioning and just dominating all these girls, right, I would be pissed.
Yeah. Absolutely. And as a competitor, I'm pissed. It's like, no. This is not right. You just know, like in your spirit, it's not right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm glad it's happened. So their ruling was if they have transitioned after the age of 12.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And so to me, that makes sense. That's pre-puberty.
Yeah.
That's pre-adolescent. And so all the other stuff they're doing out there, that's another topic for another show. Before they turn 12, that's something different. But so it's the right thing to do. And so I'm happy. To me, it's a win. It's a win for women's sports. It has nothing to do with discrimination. It has nothing to do with any type of phobia. It is about the nature of sports and what sports is intended to be. And that's for people to compete on an even playing field.
Yes.
And so, and women need their space. It's a little bit different. Everybody will say, well, I'll play devil's advocate real quick. Well, girls get to play on boys sports when they're young on boys teams. Here's the thing. We don't have a sided physical advantage over a young boy, even if we choose to play on the same team as them.
Yeah.
Now, we might be more mature at one point, and we might, if you have a natural propensity to be athletically gifted, you're going to be better than a couple of boys, a couple of them.
Yeah.
But when we talk about sided advantage again, that lopsides the field, that doesn't happen when girls go play on the boy side. It just doesn't. And so, but we have enough places and space that we can play. And so, like I said, it's a win today for women's sports. So that's my 3 minutes.
Yes.
I agree.
Applaud that. That's a perfect way to put a bow on the show. I like it. Love it.
Yeah.
Let everybody sign off.
Yeah.
It's your man, the Young Architect, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Make sure got them bell notifications turned on, you know what I'm saying? So that way you don't miss a show at all. We'll be back here again next Sunday for more information and more exciting show, you know what I'm saying, for y'all.
Absolutely. Raider Lady signing out. Make sure you like I said, subscribe, share. It's going to expand. We're expanding every minute, getting better every minute. If it's things that y'all want to hear, even if those who are listening, drop it in, say what what you would like for us to talk about. You don't have to be just strictly listeners. You can be interactive too. So with that, we just the show's getting better. It's going to grow every week. And I appreciate it. Thank you again for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, of course. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. And like everyone said, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate everyone who's listening. Seems like we're getting a few more listeners each week, and I love that. And we're going to continue to let that rock. We're going to keep on putting on for y'all and try to get bigger and better. And I am Big G, and I'm signing out. Peace to Fink.